Most crimes live in the past. A detective's job is to dig them up. But this case was different. It hadn't happened yet. His name was Leo Finch. An unassuming archivist. He wasn't a client. He was a prophet. And he brought me his book of revelations. A journal. But not of memories. Of premonitions. Small, tragic accidents. And every single one of them had come true, exactly as described. He didn't cause them. He just knew. He said the visions came to him in dreams, with the cold clarity of a memory. He was a bystander in his own mind, forced to watch the future unfold. But then, the entries changed. They became darker. More specific. And the latest one was a murder. The target was Arthur Vale. A man with more enemies than friends. A man who, according to this book, had less than 48 hours to live. My first instinct was to stop it. Warn Vale, lock down the gallery. But Leo insisted, the events in the book are immutable. Trying to stop them only makes them happen. So I had to do the one thing a detective is never supposed to do. I had to let the crime happen. My job wasn't to prevent the murder. It was to solve it before it even occurred. Vale was predictably dismissive. Called Leo a lunatic, me a fool. He refused to cancel his private viewing. The clock was ticking. While I watched the gallery, Leo dug into his own past. He found a name he hadn't heard in decades. A government research program he was part of as a child. A program designed to enhance memory. They didn't enhance his memory. They fractured his perception of time. He wasn't seeing the future. He was accessing a stream of data, a digital memory of the world. And that's when I saw it. The first flaw in the perfect prophecy. A single, digital glitch. The future wasn't set in stone. It was set in code. The lights went out at 8:16. 1 minute before the prophecy. In the darkness, I heard a sound that wasn't in the journal. The sound of a life ending. Leo was wrong. The future had changed. Arthur Vale was dead. But not at 8:17. He was dead at 8:16. The prophecy was broken. And in that broken timeline, the killer had made their first mistake. The weapon was impulsive, grabbed from the display in the panic of the darkness. This wasn't a professional hit. It was a crime of passion, accelerated by my presence. The killer didn't move in the darkness. They were already there. They were someone Vale trusted enough to stand beside in a crowded room. The usual suspects. The partner with a financial motive. The artist with a wounded ego. The assistant with secrets. But none of them fit the profile of someone who could exploit Leo's ability. And then I found the connection. The architect of Leo's torment was there, watching his experiment unfold. Dr. Eris Thorne, the lead scientist from Project Mnemosyne. Thorne wasn't the killer. He was the catalyst. He had continued his research privately. He had found a way to write a false memory into Leo's mind, the memory of a murder. His plan was brilliant. He knew one of the guests was planning to kill Vale. So he used Leo's prophecy as a weapon. He would trigger the murder early, and the killer would be caught, with me as the perfect witness. He was tying up a loose end from his past. He confessed without remorse. He saw human minds as machines to be programmed. Leo was a flawed prototype. Vale's real killer was just a tool. The assistant cracked. Thorne had shown her the prophecy on his phone, telling her the murder was meant to be, pushing her over the edge. He gave her the courage and the opportunity to act. With Thorne's methods exposed, the signal was jammed. Leo's mind was finally his own. The man who remembered tomorrow could finally live in today. I solved a murder that was a lie, to catch a killer who was a pawn, and stopped a criminal who never pulled the trigger. The case was closed. But it left me wondering, in a world where the future can be written, who is the real author of our fate?